I don't care if you're God himself coming down and telling Israel to stop. They'll probably just hang you on a cross and keep going.
With all of that, let's see what happens. But from my standpoint, I don't care.
All right, did you hear that, folks? He says he doesn't care. Trump doesn't care that he single-handedly torpedoed the entire global economy with this conflict. He is thrusting the world into another economic depression. And he says it doesn't affect us at all. And if that was the case, then why are our gas prices rising back up again? And do you realize that we get goods and materials from other countries? So if their prices are going up, that means ours are going up too. Don't forget, Donald Trump touts himself as this great deal maker, but he is setting up a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz because peace talks failed. Peace talks failed. Let that sink in. And Iran shut down the strait once again. This is Trump's counter to them shutting it down. Okay? Trump thinks that this is going to fix the problem.
How do you know that? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? You don't know anything. Who are you with?
NBC News, Filling Circuit.
ABC?
NBC.
Well, let's make news.
Mr. President.
Let me just tell you, we win, no matter what. We've defeated their military. They have no navy. 158 ships are underwater, undersea. All of their minesweepers and all of their, they call them mine droppers. Can you imagine? A country has 28 mine droppers. You think that's nice? With all of that being said, they're all defeated, by the way. They're all at the bottom of the sea. Now, with all of that, they have no navy. They have no radar. They have no air force. Their leaders are all dead. With Khomeini is gone. For many years he ruled. He's gone. With all of that, let's see what happens. But from my standpoint, I don't care.
A ceasefire may be in effect, but tensions still remain high between the U.S. and Iran as a U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz begins. A short time ago, the U.S. Navy began blocking all Iranian ports and coastal areas. Ships traveling between other ports are still being allowed to sail through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran closed for several weeks now, causing oil and gas prices to soar.
Keep in mind, too, that this brings about the possibility of this escalating tensions with other countries other than Iran. The entire world uses that strait. We're talking China, Russia, Turkey, India, Pakistan. What are you going to do? Board a Chinese vessel and just take it over with Marines?
Anybody that tests it will see Marines boarding those ships.
This is absolutely reckless. But then again, this entire war is reckless, and everybody knows it. The only people who aren't admitting how reckless it is and don't seem to be bothered by how dangerous this is are the politicians who obviously have bunkers to go hide in if things do get bad. They aren't going to be the ones joining up in the draft and going and fighting. It's going to be you and me.
We've defeated their military. They have no navy. 158 ships are underwater, undersea. All of their minesweepers and all of their, they call them mine droppers. Can you imagine? That they're all defeated, by the way. They're all at the bottom of the sea. They have no navy. They have no radar. They have no air force. Their leaders are all dead. With Khomeini is gone.
Okay, so if everything was destroyed and we beat the Iranian military, then why is it that you can't break their blockade and sail right into the strait? Why isn't the Strait of Hormuz opened? Why isn't it reopened? Why are you unable to sail your navy through it? Why aren't you able to take our minesweepers out there and clear it ourselves instead of having to rely on them? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's because if we take a vessel into that waterway, it's going to be blasted by anti-ship ballistic missiles. And if that's not true, then what else is keeping American ships 600 miles away from the Iranian coastline? This defeated country that we destroyed their military so badly.
Their leaders are all dead. With Khomeini is gone. For many years he ruled. He's gone. With all of that, let's see what happens. But from my standpoint, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so you killed their 80-year-old leader who was dying of cancer anyways. His son is now the leader, and his son and other Iranian officials have rejected the peace plan. That means they took your peace offer, and told you to go home, which means despite how much you tried to ignore it, this defeated country still has leverage over the American military, which is supposedly the most powerful military in the world. Trump is also really, really good at taking a terribly serious, dangerous situation and just blowing it off and making it seem like it's no big deal. Meanwhile, a 500-meter asteroid is barreling towards Earth, and Trump is on his golf course down in Florida shooting for birdie on the 18th hole. So once again, the great deal maker is unable to make a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz and end this war before more people die on behalf of Israel. And while we're on the topic, let's just talk real quick about why the negotiations failed. One of the reasons they're telling us is because they refuse to give up their nuclear program. They can't come to an agreement on that. Now, if you were a country that just got blown away by the American military, and you knew that a country in your region, Israel, wanted to see your destruction, would you be willing to give up your biggest bargaining chip? The only leverage you have against another conflict like this happening again in the future? Of course not. Because if you're an Iranian official, you know what this war is really about. You're not getting your information from Fox News. You're living it. You know that this is about Israel's dominance in the Middle East. You know that you are their competitor for that dominance. So I would say that this war, this attack on Iran, didn't prevent them from getting nuclear weapons. It only guaranteed them to keep working towards one in the future. And last but certainly not least, I'm sure as I've heard, you've heard also, Iran also demanded a halt in military operations in Lebanon, which Israel is just having the time of its life down there, just like they did in Gaza, where they had perfected their military demolition capabilities, where they completely level entire towns, turning them from once hospitable living environments into giant piles of rubble. And so I would say good luck getting Israel to stop. Even if you're Donald Trump, you aren't going to get Israel to stop. They've proven in the past to ultimately not give a flying fuck about what American politicians say they are going to do or how they're going to conduct their agenda. They're going to conduct their agenda in whatever way they feel is best for them to conduct. I don't care if you're God himself coming down and telling Israel to stop. They'll probably just hang you on a cross and keep going. In other words, don't even try to tell Israel to stop, okay? They're going to conduct this in whatever way they see fit, and they're going to keep this war going. This war isn't over until Israel says it's over, or until Israel is defeated. But that's a long shot with America standing beside it. It just looks like this war is going to continue and possibly even bring in another country on the side of Iran. So that's what we have to look forward to. No change in policy, no change in the status quo with this war. The strait is closed again, and Donald Trump is setting up a blockade to try to control the maritime activity that goes in and out of it. Good luck, Donald Trump. Thanks for watching.